What is going on, everybody? This is Hufty back again with another mock draft style video, and today we're going to be mock drafting the New England Patriots. I'm going to be doing this mock draft a little bit differently. I'm going to go through and show you guys which players I would re-sign, which players I'm going to let go, and then which players I'm going to cut for their offseason, just to not do like a raw mock draft in a way, like to actually show what I would do if I was the New England Patriots over this offseason. So to start it off, I'm gonna do some re-signs. We have a lot of players who have potential to be re-signed. So I'm gonna re-sign Hunter Henry for 2 to 3 years. Henry had a pretty good season. He definitely played better than Gesicki. So I'm gonna bring back Hunter Henry, and I'm gonna let Gesicki go into free agency. Next up, I'm gonna re-sign Zeke. Zeke was a star at the end of the season when Ramondre was hurt. I'm gonna re-sign Zeke for 1 to 2 years. Kind of same thing with Kendrick Bourne. I'm gonna re-sign Kendrick Bourne for 2 to 3 years. I think Kendrick Bourne shined when other receivers were hurt. Juju is a huge question with this offense. Juju had a horrible season. He had almost 200 receiving yards. He had 1 touchdown. I understand it was Mac Jones throwing to him, but you do have to do better than that when you just got signed to a three-year contract, and they invested a pretty good amount of money into him. Next up on my re-signs, I'm gonna have them re-signing Trent Brown, who had an 80 PFF grade, only allowed 3 sacks on the year. So I'm going to re-sign Trent Brown for 1 to 2 years. I know he is 30, but O-linemen typically last longer, like David Andrews, for example, who's on the Patriots. They typically last longer. Next, I'm going to re-sign Michael Onwenu for 3 to 5 years. Onwenu also had a crazy season. He had an 85 PFF grade, only allowed 3 sacks as a right tackle. This season was his first season playing right tackle, as the Patriots didn't have Isaiah Wynn. Then next up on the re-signs, I'm going to re-sign Mac Wilson, who is a low name. He's a middle linebacker. I'm going to re-sign him for 3 to 4 years. He's only 25. He has a good PFF grade. He had a crazy amount of tackles this season, and I think he fits perfectly in the box with Kyle Duggar and Jawan Bentley. I feel like those are both pretty good. And then my last re-sign is going to be Miles Bryant. I know they don't need corners at all. They have Jonathan Jones, J.C. Jackson, who are both on long year deals. And then they have Christian Gonzalez. So those are going to be my re-signs for the New England Patriots. Then let go. So people I could re-sign, but I'm going to let go into free agency. I'm going to let go Josh Uche. Uche didn't have a great season. He was given the opportunity. He had a good amount of snaps, and he didn't prosper like they wanted him to. I also would like to develop Keon White instead of Josh Uche. Next up, I'm going to be letting go Mike Gesicki. I don't think the Patriots are going to be this 2 tight end formation anymore. I feel like Hunter Henry is the guy, and if they wanted a tight end, some available tight ends this year are Jonnu Smith, Brock Bowers in the draft. I know Irv Smith is also available in free agency. So yeah, I'm going to have them letting go of Mike Gesicki. Then next final let go is going to be Jalen Mills, who's their starting free safety right now and had a horrible season. He had a 52 PFF grade, had a lot of catches allowed on him when he played. So those are going to be my 3 let-goes. Then I'm going to go to my cuts. I only have 3 cuts, and they're all on the defensive line. My first cut is going to be Dietrich Wise, who had a 54 PFF grade. And this is also going to save us $5 million in cap space. I know the Patriots are going to have almost $80 million going into free agency. And I hope they can pick up T. Higgins. Would be a huge target for them. T. Higgins or Amari Cooper. I know Amari Cooper's on the last year of his deal. Next person I'm gonna cut is Devon Godshaw, who has a 50 PFF rating. He had no sacks this season, starting D tackle for a majority of the games, and this is also going to save us $7 million. So that's going to save us $12 million cutting two players. The last person I'm going to cut is going to be Lawrence Guy Sr., who had a 45 PFF rating, didn't have a single sack on the year, and this is going to save us $3 million. He's also 35, so I believe his time is done. And if I was the Patriots, I would just rock Christian Barmore, who had an 85 PFF rating. He had like 8 sacks, which ranks 3 for D tackles. I'm going to have Matthew Judon. He's only on 2 years left on his contract, so they got to re-sign him next year. I know Keon White has 4 years left on his deal, so I'm going to try to develop Keon White, see how that goes. We're going to have Matthew Judon. He can be a mentor. So those are going to be my cut, my let go, and my re-signs. So now I'm going to get into the draft portion. And I know you guys were like kind of flipping out on my past 2 mock drafts about like research. So I did some more around like this time, just to like, I don't know, make it a little bit better for you guys. So I'm gonna go into the draft, and I'm gonna go ahead and start the draft. We have the 3rd overall pick. So I'm gonna hope to take Drake May. I would like to take Drake May, Jaden Daniels, or Caleb Williams, whoever I can draft. I would like to take Drake May. I think he fits in with this offense pretty well. I think Drake May he's better for a team that has a good O-line, and I believe the Patriots have a pretty good O-line. So yeah, with this 3rd overall draft pick, even if Caleb Williams is on the board, which I don't think he's going to, even if Jaden Daniels is on the board, I don't think he's going to, I'm going to have the New England Patriots taking Drake May at the 3rd overall draft pick. And then we have pick 34, which is going to be our first 2nd round draft pick. I could move back a single pick and get a 3rd rounder. I'm going to do that. Yeah, they take a tackle. I'm not targeting a tackle. I believe both of our tackles are pretty good. Next up, I'm going to look at who's on the board here. I know we need D linemen, and we need safeties, or like we need a free safety. I also want to target interior O linemen for this team, considering David Andrews didn't have the greatest season. He allowed, I think, 8th most sacks from a center. And then City Sal is not good at all, so I'd like to replace him at guard. But yeah, I'm going to be targeting probably a free safety, a D tackle, a tight end, players like that. So I know Cameron Kitchens is a good candidate for my free safety. And I know Leonard Taylor is a good candidate for D-line, like D tackle. I also know Byron Murphy, Devontae Sweat, who are both from Texas. If I scroll down some more here, yeah, Jeremiah Trotter, Edgerrin Cooper. Yeah, we have some good prospects here. I'm going to go ahead and trade back this pick. I'm actually going to pay attention to the offers. Yeah, these are all for next year. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can trade back to like maybe 49 with the Bengals. See if the Bengals want to trade up. Maybe give me this. So they're not giving enough. And then maybe just get a future 4th. Yeah, I'll do that. So I'm going to trade back with the Bengals. And then I'm going to see. Yeah, so this is what I wanted. I don't want to do any of these. I'm going to go ahead here. And I'm going to take Chris Jenkins, who is a D lineman from Michigan. So that's going to fill the D tackle spot from Devon Godshaw. They could go out and sign, like, I know there's a few pretty good D tackles that are going to be in free agency, but I'm going to have them taking Chris Jenkins from Michigan to fill that D tackle spot. I've kind of been like ignoring these grades on the side because I don't think those are really accurate at all. Edgerrin Cooper is a good steal here. So is Kalen Bullock. So I'm like, I know that if we re-sign Kyle Duggar to like a long-term deal, I know this is his contract here, so I hope they do re-sign him. I didn't put him on my re-signs because they already have Jabril Peppers. They already have Marte Mapu, who had a good season as a rookie. So I'd like to see them re-sign Kyle Duggar, but I don't know if they're going to. So if they do, I'm going to say like they could move somebody to free safety. They could take a corner, put them at free safety. I know they have an overload of corners. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to take Zach Frazier from West Virginia. He's going to fill that City So hole that they have because they need to replace him bad. Like I think he allowed 8 sacks as a right guard or left guard, whatever he ended up playing. Yeah, I'm gonna end up replacing him. So I'm gonna draft City. How much said I'm gonna draft City? So I'm gonna draft Zach Frazier with that pick, and then we pick 3 picks later, which I don't know. I want to take Kalen Bullock, maybe fill that free safety spot that we have. We also need a second a second tight end. Now that Gesicki is out, I'd like to take an RB late, and then I would also like to take an edge. Like Cade Stover is a pretty good pick here, but I wouldn't take Cade Stover like right now. I'm gonna see what offers I get. I can move back 6. I can move back 1. Yeah, I'll take that. See what we can get here. We only get 2 offers. I don't like either of them. Let's see. I could go another interior. I could go. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna go Cade Stover. I know I said they're not gonna run the double tight end, but I think that's like Patriots offense, and Patriots like offense is like running the ball a lot, and you need double tight ends, you need backup tight ends. So I'm gonna go Cade Stover. That's gonna replace the Mike Gesicki void. Next up, I'm gonna look for either an edge or a free safety. Because if Keon White isn't what they need him to be, then they're kind of screwed if they don't take an edge like decently early. So I'm looking here, only seeing really inside old linemen who I could take. I could take like one person to maybe, back up Andrews. Here I'm looking through. I see Roman Wilson. I wouldn't like for them to take a receiver. I think they have a pretty good receiving core, and then I think they have potential for who they could sign in free agency. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna trade back probably about 10, 11 picks. See what we can get from the Raiders here. If they want to trade back, I'll take like a next year's like. Let's reselect them. I'll go ahead and take this. Probably this. So they're actually not even gonna let me do it. I'm just gonna go here. This kind of just sucks because I can't really trade back. No teams really want to give me what I'm asking for. I'm just going to go interior O-lineman. Beef up the interior O-lineman. Cedric Van Pran is alright. Zach Sinter's coming off injury, so I don't want to take him. I'm going to take Cedric Van Pran out of Georgia. Just beef up the O-line a little bit more. Don't hate on that pick. It's questionable. With this pick, I pick at 113 and then 115. So I'm going to be looking to take that safety. I do need a safety, so I'm going to look to take either Cole Bishops or Jaden Hicks, preferably Jaden Hicks. With this, what edges are on the board? 111. Mashawn Keelan, Muhammad Kamara. I'm going to take a safety here. I'm going to take Jaden Hicks, which is an A pick. He's a free safety out of Washington State. Then with I have a lot of picks. With this pick, I'm gonna go Marshawn Nealand, who could be an edge, who could play a role with the loss of Josh Uche if Keon White doesn't go right, or he could just be like some depth, really. Now I wouldn't hate for them to take like some depth at some more positions that they don't really have crazy depth at. I already have them taking Drake May. They can probably get a mentor. I would like them to take a running back because I know they have Stevenson and Elliott, who hopefully they re-sign Elliott, but then Stevenson, those are going to be multi-year contracts, and then everybody after that is a free agent. So I would like them to take a running back maybe later. They could take a tackle. I know that Trent Brown, they could sign him to a 1-year deal, 2-year deal, but he's going to be gone sometime soon. I know that. Then they could also take a D lineman here, who I wouldn't be completely against. Here they could take running back. I wouldn't take a running back this early. I know Mac Wilson's pretty good. I don't want them to take a receiver. As much as it's telling me for them to take a receiver, I'm not going to. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take Tommy Eichenberg here. Beef up the linebackers. They already have Juwan Bentley. Hopefully they keep Mac Wilson, and if they don't, that's a good pick. Our next pick is going to be 181. So I'm not even going to look at those offers. Here, yeah, we have a good value pick in Zion I can't even say his name. He's an edge, but I think Marshawn Nealon is better. Here is where I could take my running back. Jahwar Jordan is decent. I actually have seen film on him out of Louisville. He's decent. I already took my edge. I think I have 3 more picks. Yeah, I have 3 more picks. So I could just take a running back. I'm going to take my running back here. Or no, I'm going to take my corner here, my running back next pick, and then probably trade this last pick. I'm going to take a corner just to be younger. I know that Jonathan Jones and J.C. Jackson are both getting up there. I know there's a good amount of savings on both of those players. So I'm going to go Kamani Vital for some running back depth. I know that those corners are getting up there in age. Christian Gonzalez is pretty young. So I'm gonna go Christian Gonzalez. So I actually can't even trade out of this pick. So last thing I'm gonna go wide receiver. Let's go ahead. Let's look at the end of this draft. Made some trades. So we ended up with Drake May, Chris Jenkins, Zach Frazier, Cade Stover, Cedric Van Pran. So Drake May is going to be our QB. Hopefully those O-line pickups are going to help us. Cedric Van Pran, Zach Frazier. One of them is going to be depth. One of them is going to play. Hopefully we get rid of City So. Chris Jenkins is going to replace Devon Godshaw because I'm cutting him. Stover is going to replace Gesicki. Jaden Hicks is going to replace Jalen Mills, who we are letting go. Marshawn Nealon is going to be a backup, maybe starting edge for us. Eichenberg is going to be depth unless they don't sign Mac Wilson. Shao Smith-Wade is going to be some cornerback depth. I know their cornerbacks are aging. Kamani Vital is going to be RB depth because they only have Stevenson and Elliott right now. And then Joshua Cephas is just going to be a receiver. I know UTSA prospects who you take late are pretty good, like Tariq Woolen. Maybe he's something, who knows. 7th rounders aren't really all that well, but thank you guys for tuning in to the New England Patriots off-season, dream off-season. I would have them taking, and make sure you guys tune in to the next episode